to Confessions of an SEO. This is Carolyn Holzman. Bottom line is this. I'm going to be honest with you about my experiences in SEO, whether it's client or what I see in Google or things out of the research and testing. And likely, you're not going to hear any of this validated by Google if you like to think they are driven to have your business's best interest at heart. They are, at best, a multinational business that last year pulled in over $200 billion and likely more than half of that from its paid ads division. So if you're a hardworking, conscientious SEO, I get you. And if you're a business owner, I also get you. Before I was an SEO, I was a local business owner. And if you are confused or baffled by why you would pay for SEO marketing when Google provides free instructions, remember, that confusion is by design. So let's get started. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 18. I found out that this week is National Small Business Week. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about being tagged as small. Being a business owner and before I was an SEO, I always thought it was more descriptive to maybe call it something like, independent business, but not small. The SBA, which is the Small Business Administration, see, there it is again. It defines small business by the firm or the company's revenue. And it says anything ranging from 1 million to over 40 million, and by employment from 100 to over 1,500 employees. Okay, I want to be a small business. Okay, so why am I starting with this? Well, this week Google made an announcement that on the surface sounded like they were going to provide a Google Professional Certification Program. I decided to dig into it. And once you start looking at it, it's not quite what was presented. It's not that anybody lied or anything. It just, everything they said was true, but the pieces, it's actually like calling something meat and it's comminuted meat, But don't panic. I'm going to put all the links in the descriptions so you can poke around and see if any of this is for you or not. Now, for a long time, Google has said no to providing certifications themselves for something like search. And there was an article that was also referenced in the article from the other day. It was in 2016 on SE Roundtable, where they pretty much were like, yeah, there are lots of good reasons to do that, but there are also a lot more bad ones. And then there was a cryptic response that sounded like, yeah, if we were to do that, we would have to charge for search, which we don't do right now. So as I see it, they have a game called Search, which is really a lost leader for them because of paid ads. They don't really want to certify you for search and provide you with skills to possibly rank better, because then they would have to hire more people to train you, and then they would have to pass the costs on to the general public by making them pay to use Google as a search engine. So no, we won't be doing that. Okay, so what changed between 2016 and now? Since they said they're going to offer certifications. Well, in my quest of search some, click some, read some, click some more, here's what I found. It's really an initiative between a Google group called Grow with Google, and Grow with Google teamed up with the SBA, the Small Business Administration, where Google is going to provide scholarships to U.S. businesses who apply for them to train their current employees on how Google works. Now, these scholarships apparently are worth up to $100,000 in workforce training per American company that they give it to. I'll put the link in there because businesses can apply, and it's like grow.google/certificates for business. But I'll put that in the description. Now, I started reading the site, and I'm going to just say some of the things it says. Businesses can use Google Career Certificates to train their employees for jobs in data analytics, digital marketing and e-commerce, IT support, project management, or user experience, the UX design. No experience is required, and employees can earn an industry-recognized credential in 3 to 6 months of part-time study. For every scholarship we give, a business will be gaining capabilities, and at the same time, an employee will be growing new skills. Sounds great, right? And they even managed to include the pandemic. The pandemic accelerated the need for digital tools, and we know digitally advanced businesses have been more financially resilient and have hired at twice the rate compared to less digitally advanced peers. Now, I think that's true for the most part. To take the training, it's on a training platform called Coursera, which is, where all the recordings and everything is housed. And it says it will be taught by people who actually work at Google. Now, about the certification, I just have to, it's written in a really cute way. All right, it says, this new certificate is rigorous and endorsed by the American Association of Advertising Agencies and the American Advertising Federation. And here's what you should know. So I feel like I should salute after all of that. This certificate teaches digital marketing and e-commerce skills, including how to find customers, building an online store, measurement and analytics, and increasing customer loyalty. Like all our certificates, all course instructors are Google employees who are subject matter experts. Learners will get hands-on with popular digital marketing and e-commerce tools and platforms such as Canva, Constant Contact, Hootsuite, HubSpot, MailChimp, Shopify, and Twitter, as well as Google Ads and Google Analytics. Now, for me, that's a lot of corporate talk for what sounds like a path to Google Ads. Is that too cynical? Well, on the whole, I think the idea of SEO training is great for business owners, especially. A few episodes back, I mentioned that part of the ongoing tension between business owners and SEO or the SEO agencies they hire, a huge part of it stems from the lack of any sort of working knowledge, some basis on which the business owner can understand what they're buying. So I see that, offer as a helpful rebalancing of the dynamic between an owner or a stakeholder and whoever's handling the SEO, whether it's inside or outside. Now, the challenge is always that people, being people, overvalue what they know and undervalue what they do not. It's a classic blind spot. A business owner knows what they know and knows that Google will provide training and with the scholarships, without any money out of their pocket, train their employees, and that the search engine, Google, is free. And likewise, at the same time of knowing all that, they do not know or appreciate that from a more critical analysis, that Google probably is at best going to teach people how to be competent enough, but not so skillful that they can achieve their goals without having to go to paid ads. Now, why wouldn't Google structure what they offer to grow their own business? All right, is that too cynical? Because ideally, this training would permit a business owner to have a working knowledge, understanding. And for that business owner, I kind of call it like there's a peg to hang their coat on. But usually what happens is that, what they say, like enough knowledge to be dangerous? Most of the time, that's kind of how it's used. Plus, what independent business owner is going to take this training? They barely have time to approve new content for their website. So I can see it maybe more sending their employees and now thinking, okay, I don't have to outsource my SEO because my employee is trained. And, as an SEO, I'm thinking, okay, there might be like two ways that this could go. And one, the business owner can, because, they know their employee has this skill, they can put way more pressure on the employees who've taken this training. And then they have employees who are now in possession of probably more of a fledgling skill. I wouldn't think that they would not want to ask for a salary increase, and still, they are trained. They may not ever be able to compete with a certain level of SEO. So all of that kind of melds together, and I smell a ton of thwarted expectations. Now, that's got to be too cynical. I don't know. But anyway, there's in all the material, I did find an employer section that if a business wants to go with somebody that they don't know, but they know that they went through this training, it's almost like a little employment center. They're making it available so that the people who have had the training know they are in a position to gain an entry-level position, and there are employers that are looking for somebody with those skills and validation, that they've been trained by Google. Now, it's really funny because it's listed, it says in the digital marketing and e-commerce, you can expect a median salary of $51,000. And they say there's currently 218,000 jobs open in digital marketing and e-commerce. Now, they got that information. I was trying to find out who they were, but it's called Burning Glass. And they did a labor insight between the dates of February 1st, 2021 and January 31st, 2022. And this is based on the U.S. Still, I'm curious about what's in this training. It could be good. Without taking the course, though, how would one know? So I'm considering applying for it. And, we'll just see what might happen. It could be fun. It could be a total waste of time. I don't know. All right. Just to end it, to update you from last week, I did get my mobile first test set up. And it's one that I told you about that has two websites, one desktop, one mobile. And I pretty much beefed up the optimization on the mobile and did so, thankfully, without destroying the mobile site. It looked pretty before I changed things, and it looks pretty afterwards. So, and I have a baseline of the rankings. So the hypothesis is that by increasing the optimization on the mobile version of the site and Google's confirmation that they are basing their rankings on the mobile version, and I can say they also that's the first bot that usually hits a page if for discovery. So anyway, I'll just see what it looks like. And I think that the position of the desktop site will move up further from where it is currently. So I'll keep you posted. That's going to do it for today. Thank you for being a listener. Thank you to the Confessions sponsors. And if you would subscribe wherever you're listening to it, that's kind of how they rate podcasts. So it's on Confessions, it's on Audible and Spotify and Amazon Alexa. And if you haven't settled on one source, you can simply Google Confessions of an SEO. You can't miss it. As I say every time, all of us stand to make more business and success together when both the SEOs and the business owners understand each other and Google better. It's been my pleasure to be your host. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the SERPs.